the COG chairperson tends to feel different, that these units, the 47 of them, was not intended to be economically viable units. That this is just units to ensure that services are devolved to that level. Do you agree that that should be the argument, or have we missed the point of the 2010 Constitution and taken a different tangent?
Fred, I remember 2015, that was five years after implementation of the new Constitution. The then chair of the Budget Appropriation Committee, Mutaba Musyimi, formed a small committee to audit the Constitution then. That committee was led by the former Auditor General Ouko, Mr. Ouko. And that was only 5 years after the new Constitution. And then a few things came out. Kenyans said then that one of the things they were concerned with was our governance structure. And then they were questioning the issue of the position of the women rep, the viability or the need to have the Senate, and then the issue of that time devolution, actually was again confirmed to be the best thing to have happened to Kenyans through the new Constitution. Now, over time, I think these things have not changed. In addition to what Kiro has said, there is this debate between, do we require the two houses, two chambers of parliament? That debate has been there. And I think that's a topic we might need to, as Kenyans, to open up and discuss. And that in that, then we are discussing our governance structure more so, the legislative arm. And then we will be discussing the issue of, after now 15 years, do we think still the position of the women rep should be obtainable? And depending on whether we say Senate is there or the National Assembly is there, that will upset another issue. So then the other thing is the position of the women rep was being questioned. And today, if you just scan quickly through the papers, people are still questioning that position. Whether, do we still now say enough is enough, let's have free democracy, where people go out there and elect their leaders. The other thing is the issue of the sharing of the resources. Equity has been, even though the Constitution talks about equity in sharing public resources, it is an issue we still have a tall order to achieve. And I think that's another area people are saying they wish we could also discuss. The reason why you see people clinging so much to counties and the CDF is because those are the only avenues where you ensure equity in sharing resources. Because irrespective of where you vote, money will go to your county. Irrespective of where you vote, CDF will be shared equitably, and people will be able to access the resources. And I think because of our politics, the way we've structured our politics, there is this, this urge to be, let our man be the president, is because immediately you assume the presidency, there seems to be skewed sharing of resources to the direction where the president comes from, or to the party where he comes from. So the issue of equity of sharing is another one. Now, matters of devolution. Devolution still remains a very good thing, but I think what Kenyans are concerned about now, devolution, is also the issue of, we have been talking about marginalization at the national level. I can tell you, even at the counties now, there is marginalization. You go within a county and you find within a county, a certain area is being marginalized on the basis of having not voted for the governor or having other factors which the governor doesn't like. So the issue of marginalization still remains a major issue, both at the national level and at the county level. But now for the counties, the main problem is corruption. Kenyans are saying, just as we claim to have devolved corruption from the national level to the counties. And I think while we appreciate devolution, the issue of corruption at that level also needs to be discussed again. Because you have seen many times in the House, members saying, we would rather have more money at the national level because the money we are sending to the counties, we don't seem to be getting value for it. For me, I think counties still remain the best thing. But the issue of economic justification for counties, we can't ignore that, even as the COG chair says that. Because the thing is, we can't have counties which will purely rely on the national government for survival. Counties are supposed to be, to some extent, to have some independence in terms of managing their activities and generating local local revenue to push the agenda of the countries to the next level. Others, in a situation where they just rely on the national government, then they would rather be part of the national government. And I think that's the debate, that those countries which economically don't seem to be viable, then can we think of what do we do? And we've seen an attempt of forming economic blocks. Basically, the reason why countries are going for economic blocks is to be able now to get it better in terms of marketing of their products, a competitive advantage in terms of production of particular goods in the region. So these are the issues. But then the issue of the gender, as he says, you know, we've been talking about this gender issue since 2010. We don't seem to have gotten it right, even up to now.
15 years later.
15 years. Do we still continue to have it in our constitution that we need still? Because if you can't achieve it, you would rather then open it and discuss, and Kenyans say what they think about it. And then there are others, also small areas in the issue of the independent commissions. You know, the constitution has come out very strongly on independent commissions. But the question is, in a situation like what we saw last week, where the EACC is now being told to join a committee which is chaired by the executive, the presidency. Yeah. The question is, then are these independent commissions serving the purpose which was intended? Because they are drawing a lot of public resources. Are they serving that purpose? Or is it time we singled out the ones we think are good for the country, and the ones we think they are not serving their purpose, then we dissolve them by constitutional amendment? These are the issues, Fred.
15 years after the promulgation of the Constitution, it is time for us to take stock and look at what is big, what we got right as we mark 15 years of the 2010 Constitution. Let's take a short break. When we come back, we continue this conversation with Mesha Kodede.